So what is better than spending 30 or so minutes with a mate on a Friday going through what's going on, what's good, what's bad, what's ugly, and having a giggle?
10 years ago, our insurance sort of panel or partners were about 80% aligned with the stuff that we were looking at. Now, they're about 20 to 30%.
The stories are the same and the people are the same, which is why I fundamentally pull myself out. Days that you go through and the news is like moving so fast and quickly, you've got no idea what's going on. Bonding over exercise, aging, garden centres and petunias.
Roman amphitheatres under London, AI infrastructure, and an exec from Coca-Cola who called out an entire industry. That is this week's episode. Nigel and I get into why insurance is falling dangerously behind the clients it's supposed to be serving and what it's going to take to close that gap. We talk about the AI stories that actually matter right now, who's winning, who's buying, and who the open source wildcard that's moving faster than anyone expected. And we get into conferences, so why most of them have stopped being worth your time. It's honest, it's unfiltered, and there might even be a moment where Nigel's solicitor interrupts us all. Enjoy, this is Unfiltered. Let's go.
We are back. Matt Connolly, Nigel Walsh. It is Unfiltered. Nigel, hi.
Still laughing. I'm still laughing.
Still laughing from last week.
I loved your post because every single one of those images was you and me chuckling away to each other. So what is better than spending 30 or so minutes with a mate on a Friday going through what's going on, what's good, what's bad, what's ugly, and having a giggle?
It's nice, isn't it?
I love it.
It's nice.
I love it.
Yeah, we don't choose those images either. Our editor does that. And maybe we should get involved a little bit more.
But Riverside on the platform that we use, gives you a summary of each one. And I think I've got a few snaps where like every one of them is you and me bent over and just in giggles. So it's good fun. Maybe we should do that. We should do that Instagram trend where like, I've gone away with the boys this weekend and it's really boring.
Yes, really. You've done a few of those intros. It sounded pretty dull.
Yeah. Thanks, mate. Yeah,
how has your week been, Nigel?
It has been very well. It's been very good. It's,
good.
I don't actually know what I've done. You know, when you get to Friday and go, oh my God, because I caught up with like Las Vegas from Knowledge last week and that was crazy. So doing all the follow-ups from all that sort of stuff. And it's busy as always. I can't even tell you I've got a quiet week. I've discovered Whisper Flow, which I've shared with loads of my friends already. I'm like, this is life-changing, but you've used it for a while, haven't you?
I have. Nigel, what is Whisper Flow for those who haven't yet come across this little bit of magic?
Have I got to whisper it to you? Whisper Flow is an application. So my biggest bugbear with Siri on my phone is that it never understands me. The difference with Whisper Flow seems to be that it truly understands me, although you and I did find a flaw. We were on a train in different places, realizing that actually it might not work without an internet connection.
Yeah.
And
exactly. It may not therefore work on planes. Sorry, I just interrupted you. I think you were going to say exactly that, or you did. Just didn't hear you.
Yeah, all right, fair enough. How was your week this week? What did you get up to?
Mate, it's good. I have been whisper flowing a lot. Mate, I went into London on Tuesday.
The Big Smoke?
The Big Smoke. And I went to the Guildhall Art Centre. Is that what it's called? I think it is. It's built on the amphitheatre. That's a word I always like to add an L in there for some reason. Amphitheatre. But who knew? I mean, who knew London had an amphitheatre? It's now going to catch me a lot. It's a word I don't want to say. I have to say a lot. Built in 70 AD. And it was in building the art centre that they dug deep, as you do, and discovered it. Just incredible. I love history like that.
Anything to do with the Romans, perhaps?
Oh, yeah, so you know what? I didn't read to that bit. I imagine maybe. And then they built the A1. So yeah, it's fantastic though, right? I just love that stuff.
And these are the people that you trust to help you do your transformation.
Yeah, that's it. But you know, I think the older I get, I was never interested in history, but boy, I love it. And I know, we sit in this kind of like, here we are doing a pod all about this emerging technology and the future and stuff. But I love all that stuff. And then they had the drainage tunnels and like where the water would flow with the original wood. And it's like, oh God, this is
honestly,
so good.
I'm like you. It's an age thing. Next to when we're talking about garden centres and barbecue tools.
Yeah, in fact, we didn't carry that on. In fact, I think it was off air. We were talking about our gardens and whether how things are growing in this weather. Anyway, so yeah, so I had a good session there. It was what was really fun for me was two things. So one is I put on a suit, so I thought that was pretty special. It's nice wearing a suit, right? I
Do you have a
rarely
tie
do.
as well, or no?
No. I mean, come on, let's not push it.
Steady
Right? It
on.
was yeah, but it's interesting. I don't know if you have the same. Right now, you're a skinny Nigel, but it's like I buy suits of different sizes, depending on my body shape. So I was just like trying to find the skinniest suit that I have out there. It's still, a good couple of inches too big, but
I do have skinny wardrobe and fat wardrobe, so I think I do have.
Yeah.
I want to go out and buy something lovely and new and go, I can't get into that. I'll try it in a few months' time when I'm a bit slimmer. I go racing past it and I go, oh, it's too big. Great, well done, Walshy.
There you go. Yeah, it's easy one. So anyway, went into that. I wasn't going to talk about the amphitheater, but what was really interesting for me? Hey,
what theatre?
What was really interesting for me was it was deep into risk, right? So it was talking about marine, it was talking about cyber, it was talking about all sorts of things, right? All sorts of emerging risks or risks that are prevalent, and everything just wasn't like a tech or innovation conference, yet everything laddered back up to, we need to know this market better. We need to adopt and embrace the technology that's out there to do a better job at. And it's fantastic. There was a guy from Coca-Cola, which was, and I really like panels that have outsiders who come in to talk about their domain and how it connects to insurance, right? So a guy from Coca-Cola, and you had two panelists, I won't mention where they were from. The guy from Coke was talking about how, maybe this isn't quite verbatim, but the content was there, which was like 10 years ago, our insurance sort of panel or partners were about 80% aligned with the stuff that we were looking at. Now they're about 20 to 30% aligned. And there's basically, he was calling out, was this massive gap between where Coke are paying attention and where the insurers are at. And that he just needs them to catch up because they're just not there. And you saw these two on the panel kind of almost panic in their kind of, look at you, it's like an advert sponsored by Lilt, or Coca-Cola. And so anyway, so there we were. So I thought that was really interesting. But it's like, a client sitting there on the panel saying, you guys are way behind, but kind of almost like calling it out for the first time because he got asked that question. And I thought that was really interesting.
Two things. Number one, other soft drinks do exist. Number two, were they a carrier or were they a broker? Because often you sit there and go, you've got a risk manager at an enterprise going, these are the things that are on a horizon. You've got an insurer trying to sit there and go, this is the product I've got. But you've got a broker that might sit there and go, I'll help construct your insurance tower from the things that we know that you need in your industry. We did this with a good friend of mine, Hamish Roberts, a few years back at the energy conference, and I actually brought McLaren to the stage.
Oh, cool.
To talk about how they think about risk from a McLaren perspective, and then what the differences were, or the similarities, more importantly, when it comes to energy. And it was a really fascinating thing because the look ahead, the things that you get up to, they're just really, really cool and insightful. But isn't that like knowing your customer and knowing their industry that you work in?
My goodness, isn't it just, right? Or just asking that one question, going, where are you at? What's your strategy? Let's align. But also then just take them further. You as a, anyway, we're sitting on the wrong side of the fence. Yes, you and I are
You're on your soapbox
aligned
now because you're like sitting there going, you're really annoyed with these people because they should have done a better job of knowing the horizon 1, 2, and 3 type risks.
Of course they should. Of course they should. And lo and behold, it was them answering the question that I put on the little chat on the QR code. Couldn't resist.
Were you nice to them, or were you being mean?
Yeah, no. I was just nobody in the audience, right? So still thinking about how you say the word amphitheater. Did you get a McLaren over your left shoulder? Is that McLaren?
No, that one there is a GT3 RS Porsche. Very nice. Like loads of fun to build as a Lego. So all good. What else is going on this week? So I've gone.
No, I was just making facial expressions and excitement for what's about to come.
I was gonna think.
Always good for audio.
Faces for radio. Thank God for YouTube. I was just saying to you earlier, I think conference season is amongst us, and actually, you are there now, given that you were Mr. Nobody in an audience.
Yes.
I feel like we've got our big conference or big insurance event next week in New York with the Instead crew and a bunch of partners like
with Robin and Matthew,
Native
right?
and Standard. Yeah,
and
I'm really looking forward to it.
Hyper.
We're choosing lots of long words for you today, aren't we?
Yeah, so I'm slowing down a little bit. I've got a little bit more in me though, so it should be fine.
Don't worry. It's not as if when you get to the garden centre, plant names aren't Latin, so we'll be fine.
Be fine. Be fine.
Yes, HX
Yes.
are there as well. Richard Gunn and linking back to you, me, and Richard always. I will be doing yoga with Richard on Wednesday morning, bright and early at 6 a.m. in New York.
Mate,
So can't
that
wait.
will be brilliant. Hot yoga, no
Of
less.
course. Of course. So, but no,
so tell me about
back.
tell me about the event. Tell me what is it an all dayer?
It's a start with lunch and go through to early evenings.
Cool.
And actually, I think I said this before. It's interesting. I think living in New York, a happy hour in New York would be like 4:30.
Yeah,
You could go out for dinner at 6 and be home by 8 o'clock.
shoots me down to the ground.
Our age is just perfect. An early night. Thanks very much. Got to be at a training session at 6 a.m. That'd be brilliant.
Perfect.
So starting for lunch, and we've got a whole bunch of things. I love the format because it's no slides, there's no presentations.
Yeah, cool.
It's conversation and meaty questions. So looking forward to it. HX are there, which is exciting. Insurers are there. Instander are there. We did a bunch of work with those guys just recently. Native is a brand new partner that's building on service now. That's quite exciting with deep insurance experience with people like Bill Devine and folks that have built big businesses like Thedera and Cloud Sherpas. So I feel like I'm in a really good space. Like
Mate, that's cool.
It's really good.
Do you
It's
feel
really
the buzz
good.
when you go back to New York? Do you feel that energy?
All the time.
I didn't know whether living there would have changed that in some way,
No,
whether good or bad. But yeah,
it now feels like more like a second home more than anything else. So, which is really, really cool.
that's nice. Do you link back up with? I mean, I don't know if you made any mates when you lived out there, but I'm assuming you had a couple.
I'm very quiet, shy, and reserved, as you know.
Did you catch
yeah,
up with old friends as well?
all the time.
Way,
No, but
doesn't
we're
it?
talking about conference season, and I just think it's getting back to that. The thing that I'm really curious about, and I actually purposefully took a pause from some of the conferences because if you're at them all the time, nothing changes.
Sure.
And I'm worried that we're not getting enough new stuff. Like I've beat Rory Pike up all the time and Emma Glattman and a bunch of others and the Instec, ITC folks, because I just want it to be new and different. And I'm sitting there going, it doesn't feel like, or doesn't compel me. And the stories are the same and the people are the same, which is why I fundamentally pull myself out and do roundtable dinners or private events. And this thing that we're doing is like 100 people in New York. It would be great. So,
yeah, and just
good.
also just to say, I'm really sorry I wasn't able to make. Oh, hang on. Not a bloody invite, Mr. Walsh. Yeah, there you go. But don't worry, I will be going to America without you. So there you go.
Well, don't worry, you can't come. Are you an insurer, an MGA, or a member of the community? We'd always let you in, mate. We'd always let you in.
I need to become a ServiceNow client. That's what I need to do.
Partner.
We've got to be doing some projects together, surely.
100%.
Sana, ServiceNow.
Well, we've got over 500 insurers, so there's going to be something we're
There we
going to
go.
do.
Probably a fair whack.
But you were asking me if I meet up with mates in New York.
Yes.
Of course I do. I've got loads of friends out there,
good.
which is great. And actually, the way I did it, of course, is no surprise to you, is I joined a run club and ran the marathon. So the folks I ran the marathon with are good friends, and we go grab dinner and go do yoga and whatever else that we do. So yeah, it's really nice. It's
amazing.
It does feel like a second home.
Bond. Now, what I was going to say, I'm going to talk about the conference season because two conferences I want to talk about are, so a week after yours, so whenever that be, is Scout InsurTech are running their conference in Columbus, Ohio. I went to that last year. I think I may have talked about it on the pod. It was fantastic, and I strongly urge everybody to get down to that. I think that's a great place. For some reason, I don't know how it works, but you're talking about it's like. I say less panels. I don't think there are any panels. It's all about coming together and meeting, and it's a mixture of pre-organized, but everyone's so open and just like wanting to connect, and it really is that kind of ecosystem. Go on, what are you going to ask?
But it's the people that make it, and there's the people that are different in that world, right?
Maybe. I don't know what it is, but I think also the way it's set up
is it a scale thing? Is it like if it's
possibly
if
it's much smaller,
big,
of course. Yeah, it's much smaller, but it's also they send out. I'm sure we wouldn't be able to do this with our kind of data privacy in the UK, but they send out a full list of attendees by PDF, so proper old school, every 2 weeks in the lead up to the event, and they encourage you to connect with one another. But it allows you to, I don't know, it's not the apps are great, but
my whole goal of going to a conference is to sit there, learn, consume, seeing what others are doing, get ideas, be challenged, meet friends. If you're not doing that at conferences, what are you doing?
Yeah. Well, or part of that, right? So this is maybe the less sitting there and learning bit. This is the connection bit. And maybe that's right. That's a forum for that.
I almost want, like, at some of the bigger conferences, people just want swag or notepads or pens or fluffy toys.
Sure.
Maybe I just have a sign that says, no swag, just tough conversation or fun conversation. Maybe that's what we need to do. Like, there's got to be
Maybe
something
put that through
different.
an LLM and just maybe iterate a few times. But yeah, no, but it is that kind of thing, right? It's I'd steal one of the puppies. That's about it.
I'm gonna go to a conference and have an amphitheater.
Are you? You should. They didn't take off though, so
hang on. But they're now buried, aren't they? Now, hang on. Now, you mentioned puppies. Were you taking the mickey out of dog parks at events?
I've never. Yeah, they are at events. I'm not taking the mickey out of them. I think they may have their place. I can't quite work out what that place is. But
Are you trying to be polite now?
well, I saw that they popped up at Bieber as well. Apparently, I saw it on like a LinkedIn post of someone like petting the puppies. I'm like,
Really?
yeah, I don't know, but there's all sorts, right? I mean, it's like, you know, it's like you arrive at a lot of
I
these
tell you
events,
what,
you get a cocktail.
Rory Pike did do at the Instec in London, which I thought was
Don't
really
mind me.
cool. No, I'm not talking about you. It's not about you. But my brain works way faster or slower than yours, depending on what day of the week it is.
Yeah.
Were you talking?
No, I mean, yeah, sure I was. It's like I was really in a relationship with Nigel Walsh. Brilliant.
Enough about me. What do you think about me? What were you saying?
Oh no. I'm refusing to swear. So please carry on. You're talking about, oh, mate, this week, let's come back to your point. This week, I put our very first post out about like, we've done 10 episodes. It's like we haven't marketed any of them. So anyway, so I thought I'd put a post out. And then I got a ChatGPT, Claude, I think, to take all of the transcripts. I thought that was really good fun. And then find out who we've mentioned in our pods.
Yeah.
And then rank them. I haven't told you this yet.
No.
And so who came first, but someone who's now been mentioned maybe 2 times and then it's soon to be a third? Rory Pike. So there
Rory,
you go.
you're going to join us on the show. We'll do that, right? Let's get him on the show.
Yeah,
next
maybe
week.
we need to just do it in order. Just tick them off.
The show we can't do next week together because our timing's not going to work. We'll get Rory to that one.
Just host it on his own with neither
Well, that's
of
been
us.
mentioned some 10 times now. But what I was about to say was what I like. I'm not a fan of the puppies at the stand. I'm like, I love dogs and everything else, but really, I don't get. Anyway, each their own. What I did think was cool and useful was Rory had a hairdressers, a barber's, where you could go and get a trim or whatever else. And it was smart because how often do you sit there and go, I must get my haircut? I go, I've run out of time again. And you pop in to get a quick trim and you meet his barber and it's perfect before you go on stage. Like, that was really cool.
Weirdly, Dan White from 90, I don't know if you know Dan, but I have seen Dan. It's now become a bit of a awkward joke. Every time I see him, he's getting his haircut there, as if he saves them up like every 6 months for one of the ITI events. I mean, it's a strategy, right? Why not? I don't know. I can't remember how much hair Dan has, but yeah, he likes to get a haircut at ITI, so good for him. But yes, it's a nice idea, right?
Maybe there should be 2 ticket prices: entrance haircut, entrance
Extra
haircut
40
on
quid.
stage.
Extra 40 quid for that.
40 quid. It's a £5 when you get to this stage.
Trust me, this isn't. Yeah. Oh well. Anyway, right. So
it isn't well manicured. So conference season's amongst us. Number 1.
Yes.
Big event next week for me, which I'm really looking forward to.
That's exciting.
Number 2. What's going on in the world of tech? What have you seen?
Well, just pushed out So News, actually. So my newsletter. So that has gone out, the every other Friday special. I really enjoy it. It was something I enjoyed. Then I hated for about 6 years, which is a long time to not enjoy something that takes 1/10 of your time. But I really enjoy it. But it's like what we talked about. You know, when you write, it connects you with what is going on in the world. It makes you think. It enforces that kind of relevance to the world that you're working within and all the rest. And where it started for me was, on my dog run this morning, again, probably Harry Stebbings has got to be up there in the top 5, 4, 3, 2 people. But he's on it's on his pod this morning, a phrase which was, try and get a lunch in with the CEO of your competitors once or twice a year. And I love that. And it reminded me back to, so they were talking about Elon and how he has just teamed up with the Anthropic guys. You know, like, not too dissimilar to, without getting into politics, there are a few people out there with big presence who will change their mind often, and you can't quite keep up with the narrative that they're presenting. Elon is one of those guys.
Oh, okay.
and Nigel. Elon's one of those guys, right? And just a few months ago, I think he was having a spat with Anthropic. But the enemy of your enemy is your friend. And he has got into bed with Anthropic, probably to the disdain of Sam and OpenAI. And what's really interesting is because Grok's underperforming, so they have so much more capacity, which they're able to give. Therefore,
so this is
Anthropic,
Colossus
right?
1, Colossus 2, right? So
Exactly,
he's got a
right?
brand
So
new thing with Blackwell
super
chips.
interesting. And again, we go back to, their previous purchases of, and then the potential IPO and, the valuations. And it's just super, all of that strategy is just fantastically interesting.
I love it. And Colossus 1 is now powering some of Claude. It's taken out some of the bottlenecks that people complained about because everyone was using open claude to do stuff. In parallel to that, I read, obviously, overnight. Is it overnight? Don't know, day of the week. Anthropic has just raised more money at a $900 billion valuation, and they're selling more to enterprise than OpenAI.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Really interesting, that is. Yeah. Well, there you go. Yeah. So I think,
Hugely safe.
yeah, I think it is. It's really interesting, and to see where they're going to go as well. And so within this was the same pod was a conversation around whether they could disrupt Legora and Harvey, which we talked about on the pod before, because they have launched a kind of AI lawyer orchestration of agents for lawyers and stuff. And so I think that's really interesting as well. But the consensus was that actually, if you have deep domain expertise, data, and enterprise workflows, they're not going to be able to get you. And I thought that was a really interesting insight as well from a group of people I trust.
I'm with you on that. And I've always said the two areas that were off limits were legal and medical for certain reasons. And they'd been these two companies. But then I've got newsletters, I tell you. In my newsletter this week, I wrote about macOS. And macOS we talked about before.
Yep.
It's fascinated me, and it just seems to be scaling and growing. And the whole idea was this guy replicated Legora or Harvey in the space of 2 weeks and made it open source. Loads of people have taken it, they've forked it, they've done different things to it, they've built add-ons, and they've just made their first acquisition. It's an interesting thing for someone to go, I can do what they do, and I've now got to market really, really quickly. So
yeah,
I'm genuinely fascinated by that space. Genuinely fascinated.
Yeah.
So
no, it's super interesting.
Really interesting to see where it goes as well.
Anything that you've been tracking or taking a look at that you think is worth a share?
No, I'm just trying to as I said before you even started, I'm there's days that you go through and the news is moving so fast and quickly, you've got no idea what's going on. And other days we just go, I've got to pause. All this stuff is super overwhelming. How do I get back to it? And then do the actual work of do the day job at the same time, right? So I think it's one of those weeks this week. Of course, there's loads of stuff going on. There's loads of announcements and this, that, and the other, and whatever else. But it's which ones matter to us that will move the needle for my customers and my business. So you kind of run, pause, reflect, consume, put into action, and then you go again. So I think in that space ahead of next week's trip to the US, which I'm looking forward to.
At the weekend for you, what's going on?
Oh, that's a really great question. Do you not get to Friday and go, I've got no idea what I'm doing tomorrow, and sit down with Caroline or in my case Emma and go, what are we doing this weekend? I fly on Sunday night, so I will be bright and early in New York, which is good. But no, I've got no idea what we're up to on Saturday.
It's nice though, right? That's nice.
But hopefully the weather's been better. The weather's been miserable this week. This week, it felt lovely last week after our super long walk, and then it just got cold.
Yeah, no, it's freezing, isn't it? I went out this morning and came straight back inside to put a coat on, and then went back out.
Very boring. It was 7 degrees this morning and 2 degrees yesterday when I go for my morning walk to keep my steps up. So
we love a good weather chat. Well, I am going to be needing to go because I have to get on an aeroplane to Barcelona. So where it's going to be sunny, which is going to be gorgeous.
Are you being a high rocks player? Are you a high rock? Are you a hybrid rock star?
I'm going to be a hybrid rock star tomorrow night, and then I am going to be.
Have you ever done a night high rocks before?
Evening. I mean, it's not like it's pitch black with some kind of glow in the dark sleds or something.
That would be quite cool, wouldn't it?
That would be cool. I think they may have done that in Paris, to be honest. It looked really fun. But it's just, I don't know. It's the closest I'm going to get to a nightclub. I mean, that's
But it goes back
sad,
to your point, but people bond over different things, and we're bonding over exercise, aging, garden centres, and petunias.
There we go. That's what we're doing. But anyway, so I'm going to be high roxing and having a great time. So 6 lads going over. So I'm getting picked up. The Uber's going to be outside my house any second.
I expect the video that looks like we're having a miserable time.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'll do one for you. See if I can persuade the other five lads who are having the time of their life.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that's what I'm going to get up to. But mate, it's a pleasure. Good luck in New York next week. I will wave to you as I fly over to Columbus. I'm doing one of those. I think you're way beyond this, and I still do this. Startup founder, find the cheapest flight humanly possible. So like I have my air miles are spread over about like 27 airlines. So I'm flying Alaska Air via Seattle to get to Columbus. I'm like, oh gosh, no, really? And then on the way back, again doing a red eye into Barcelona on the Wednesday night.
That's a whole different conversation, but you're in numpty for having multiple different airlines. Let me just tell you that.
Well, I'm in numpty, or a very sensible, astute business person.
You could get Claude to do it for you these days, or ChatGPT, or other AIs exist, but they are brilliant at helping you do planning. Really cool.
I mean, it's not a lack of planning, Nigel. It's just making sure they don't spend the pennies where they don't need to be spent, isn't it? Hey, there you go, Mr. Corporate Card.
Could you have a chat with Emma, please? Because we have a whole different conversation on that.
Yeah, totally. It's a different matter when it's personal.
Hey, safe travels.
A pleasure.
Enjoy.
Thank you.
Good fun.
And we'll catch up soon.
I'll catch you on.
All right, big love. Bye.